Do you want to pick up the phone and call a friend, but don't have any money to pay for a sex line? Or worse, you don't have any friends? Call Get a Buddy. Just tell us your name, one thing you're passionate about, and we'll do the rest. Let's listen into a real call.
Hello?
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
It's going all right, I guess.
Sounds great. So watch anything fun lately?
Yeah. I just finished some porn before I called you.
That sounds great, man. So what did you do today?
Pretty much porn. My family thinks I have a problem, but I know you don't.
Cool, man. What did you have for breakfast?
I didn't eat. I only watched porn.
You get the picture. The call is free. Your passion, your friend. Get a Buddy. We're your best friend. Only the first 30 seconds is free. Additional minutes are $5.95 each. We're not responsible for our suggestions in life, love, and politics and cannot be held accountable for suicide. Up to the echo. Up to the echo. Up to the echo radio show.
And welcome to the Echo Radio Show. I'm your host, Nick O'Kelly, with my co-host here, riding shotgun. Woo-hoo! Derek the Tool Daisy.
Hey! I love that show.
How do you like being a tool today, Derek?
It's you know, Nick, it's good. I feel great. I love being a tool.
Now, listen.
Yeah.
I just started a new job.
Yeah.
And it's a little controversial.
Yeah.
It's a little new age.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you all about it.
Please.
Because we're going to, we're going to promote them here on the show, To the Echo.
Yeah.
It's called Get a Buddy. Now, here's the deal,
okay.
all right?
All right.
You call 1-800-GET-A-BUDDY when you're lonely. Are you ever lonely, Derek?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes my wife doesn't let me touch her at night. I got to go in the guest bedroom. Yeah.
Well, I meant more like when you need a buddy.
Oh.
Like, you want to talk about how you do Magic the Gathering and don't tell anybody?
Yeah, well, I usually do it with myself looking in the mirror. But yes, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I go in at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.
10 p.m., so you do it at night?
Yeah, at night, work till 3 a.m.
What a weird... For friends?
Well, the thing is, a lot of people who are lonely tend to stay up late at night.
Yeah.
And it's very strange.
Yeah. What? I mean, like, are these Magic the Gathering kind of nerds? Are they?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Okay.
They're hanging out in their basement.
Yeah.
Their mom's basement normally.
Yeah.
And, they're telling me about Magi's and trolls and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, cool. That sounds good. I play that too.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes we play over the phone. I just make things up. Like Boulder the Iceman.
Yeah.
He has, attack of 2 and a shield of 5.
Doesn't sound that good.
No.
Yeah. So you must lose a lot. Make them feel really good about themselves.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm probably the worst player ever.
Yeah. Well, but I have to ask, Nick, do these guys, like... I mean, all right, okay, Magic the Gathering,
yeah.
Which means they're not getting a lot of action.
No, there's no action going on with these guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes they tell me about how they do, but I know it's a lie.
So,
it's all about stroking the ego,
oh,
if you know what I mean.
Okay.
There's no pun intended.
No,
but,
that's, wow. So, like, what do? Do you just lay there and take it? Do you make suggestions? What's your...
Well, I'm kind of like the love doctor.
Okay.
Like Fraser Crane... I'm listening.
Okay. So what has been the strangest call you've had, Nick?
A guy called me, told me he had a addiction to porn.
Oh.
And I said, really? He said, yeah. So what are you wearing?
Oh. Did you tell him?
No.
Oh, okay. No, what do you like hang up the phone? Do you keep them on? Like, I'm curious.
I just said, well, it doesn't really matter what I'm wearing. I thought we were playing Magic. He's like, oh, this is Magic.
I thought we were just going to be friends. Take them off. Take off your pants. Okay.
Oh, boy. So if you're ever in the mood around 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., just go ahead and call 1-800-GET-A-BUDDY.
Woo! Get a buddy.
So it's To the Echo Radio Show.
Sounds like a great job, Nick. I'm glad you're moving up in the world. So, that being said, you just got back from the saddest place on earth.
Oh, let me tell you.
Man, Disney World.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Now, listen, it is the happiest place on earth. It makes I enjoy
saddest.
It.
Come on.
I enjoy it, but here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
All right.
You need to keep it to a minimum party.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have never seen so many people in my life walking around screaming at their kids, number one. And it always seems to be the same statement.
Uh-huh.
I paid $5,000 for this vacation. You're going to start having fun right now.
Then you punch them in the face, give them a bloody nose. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I've been to Disney.
We joke about this all the time, but when we're there.
Yeah.
But literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it probably 100 times a day walking around the park. It's like a drinking game.
Yeah, everybody's just miserable there. Like, they went there to be happy, and it's nothing but stress and anger.
I think people build it up in their head. It isn't.
Yeah.
Listen, it's an expensive vacation.
It is.
But we bought annual passes this year.
Yeah.
And we did that because we knew we wanted to go more than once.
Right.
And after your second time, it's free after that.
Right.
Like it basically pays for the ticket price almost pays for itself with one trip.
Yeah.
So about halfway through your second trip, it's free after that.
Mm.
So that's why we do it, because we have, and plus you get 20% off on merchandise, 10% off on food. You park for free at the parks. So we did the annual pass thing.
Yeah.
And that's why we like to go back and back. And when we were over in Germany, we did the same thing at Disney Paris.
Yeah.
That annual pass was $200. We paid $200 to be able to go 365 days.
That doesn't sound like there's much to do there if that's all it is.
Well, that's the funny thing, because we got that price. She actually did it for my birthday. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Ashley got it for me.
Your
and
wife.
said, yeah, my wife, and said, happy birthday. You know, I got, it was $400 for both of us to get an annual pass. I was like, wow, that sounds
hot.
That sounds cheap.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's, you know, it's much more than that. That's less than one trip's worth of tickets.
Right.
So we went a couple of times, and by February they had raised the price to $850.
Wow. Was it like a special?
It was. We bought it before, like, so we were there in 2016.
Yeah.
Is when we went over, and we were there for the entirety of 2017. So we bought these tickets for 2017, and the opening price was like a special, I guess. We didn't even realize it. We didn't even know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we go there in December, and it's good through the next December 31st. And yeah, I mean, like I said, by the end of January, they had jacked the prices. I think it was that they sold too many.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we had a great time. I mean, it's a great couple's paradise, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As in two people.
Yeah. Because me and my wife went with my daughter last year. I don't know. Did I call you? No, I might have texted you. You were in Germany then. I remember we didn't even get to the park, and that night my daughter started teething, and she cried until 4 a.m, and I was like, I want to get the fuck out of here and just go home. But we toughed it out. We met with our buddy Phil, the co-songwriter of Suburban Myth, and we tried. We were just exhausted, and the baby was fine until the fireworks went off and scared the bejesus out of her. And then it was
which that will happen.
Yes, a lot, and it's like they don't tell you when it's gonna have just. You're like, Jesus Christ, and so that put her on edge, and that made our trip a little miserable. So yes, I wish that I had $5,000 and I just went to Disney and said, we're gonna do whatever the hell we want. We can eat anywhere, go to Epcot, eat all that crap. Which is my favorite park out of the bunch, by the way. But
it's the best.
Yeah,
it's the best.
I think it's the best for adults.
Definitely.
As kids,
100%.
Magic Kingdom, all that. But
now, we talked about, I don't remember if it was the last episode or the one before, we talked about Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
Batuu, actually. It's not Star Wars Land. It's called Batuu. It's a planet. It's canon.
All right, okay.
When that happens,
Yeah.
I think Hollywood Studios is going to end up being
Star
also
Wars.
a big draw for, these magic guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to be there, actually, because they encourage you to dress up.
Yeah, that's right.
We were there this time, and Epcot was having the Flower and Garden Festival. This was their oldest festival. They also do food and wine in the fall.
Right.
But Flower and Garden is their oldest. They've been doing it for, basically since they opened. And they have all these kiosks around with kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's the World Showcase in Epcot. There's all the different country pavilions. Each one has a kitchen outside of it in a kiosk that they make special dishes.
Oh.
They're all $4 or $5. And you can walk around for, I don't know, $20 and have like a massive meal of all these different foods. So I sent you a picture of one thing.
Yeah.
It was a pork belly pulled pork slider.
Yeah, and I asked you, what is that, for $60? You're like, no, $5.
Yeah, it was $5.
Yeah,
$5 for this
all
thing.
right,
It was
$5.
so good.
Yeah, was it?
Unbelievable.
I think I had the French treats, and we ate at a Arabic.
Yeah, Morocco.
Morocco. Yeah, we got some food there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was goat or I forget what it was, but it was.
Well, they have shawarma there.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it was good. We had a great time when my wife and I just went to Epcot. Yeah, but taking the baby is a little rough. I don't recommend doing that until they're old enough to remember that they're going. She was 9 months. That was like, whose fault is that? That's ours. But she did like the Dumbo ride.
Oh, you did the Dumbo ride.
Yeah, we took her on, and
that's iconic.
She's looking around like, oh my god,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
we got some pictures done. Now, my wife and I had our engagement pictures done in Epcot.
Yeah,
and that was fantastic, a lot of fun. And we met this photographer. Her name is Kimberly. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I wish I could plug her on the radio, but I cannot remember her last name. I'm so sorry. I'll have to look it up. We'll plug it next time.
You better.
So she did our pictures and was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a portrayable photography. Look them up. And she basically is exclusively Disney. I mean, she also does things around Florida, but she's got an annual pass, and most of what she does is in the Disney parks or at the resorts.
They just let her hang out in the...
Well, she's got an annual pass, and she lives in Orlando. So I think she had to be certified. She's not a Disney photographer, quote unquote, but she's a friend of Disney. And they let her go in and do it as long as she doesn't take pictures of, like, their logos.
Right, right.
So we loved her so much that we went back, and I never really thought about doing this, but I got a new appreciation for photographers because she's so good. And it's all about the Photoshop work.
Yeah.
I mean, she takes pictures, and there's people in the background, but she Photoshops them out.
Oh,
and
really?
Then it's the lighting, and it's the way she manipulates these photos. I don't have any in the room here. I could show you.
Yeah, I don't see them.
But it's a little foamed up in here right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway, so we went back, and you build your business as a photographer on
referrals.
Yeah, coming back, like people coming back.
Well, yeah.
So 2 years later, it's our 2-year anniversary, by the way, tomorrow.
Oh, really?
2-year wedding anniversary is tomorrow. Yeah, thanks.
Oh. I went to that wedding. Oh, you had excellent music there.
Yeah, I know. You sang it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And you did. Let me tell you, you did a great job.
Thank you.
So
you wouldn't hear from my voice, but I'm a horrible singer.
Sang I know it is a Garth Brooks song, but it's actually Bob Dylan.
Yeah. What was the song called? I don't even remember. I learned it for that, and I was done. I'm like, all right, that's it.
I can't think of the name. Anyway, it's a great song. I'm hearing it in my head. I'm not going to sing it. That's not the point.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's our 2-year wedding anniversary, and my wife's family was with us. They all went as well. They go every couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said, we're going to get pictures done again. And this girl had just... She was pregnant when we ordered it. Now, when we did our engagement pictures, she was also pregnant.
Yeah.
So she came out, and she still had 3 or 4 months when we did our engagement pictures, and we couldn't believe it. I mean, she was running around this park, like, carrying this massive bag of lenses and just really, and I was like, wow, this is impressive. Yeah. Like, even if the pictures aren't that great, this is impressive.
Yeah.
But then they ended up being wonderful. So she was pregnant again, and when we ordered it, she said, well, I'm due the next week after our photo shoot this time. And we said, well, it's up to you then. We don't have to. She's like, no, it's fine. It's no problem. So no big deal. We'll go ahead and do it. We're like, are you sure? Yes, no problem. Okay, fine. She gave birth 4 days before our photo shoot.
Oh.
And we said, so we had basically assigned ourselves to not being able to get these pictures.
Yeah.
The day before, she said, I had a great
pregnancy?
Birth,
yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and do it. We're like, really?
Yeah.
So she came to this thing with her baby in the car, and the dad, they stayed in the car.
Yeah.
And we did the photo shoot for an hour. It was fantastic. She was full of energy.
Was she running around?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this.
So no C-section or anything? Well,
no,
I think that would have been too personal.
She said it was too. She said it was perfect, no problem. So she did the photo shoot. Oh. And afterward, the point that I'm trying to get to is they took their 4 or 5 days, but within the week, old baby to Disney World right after she finished the photo.
That's a lot of money. No, they're free. They get it for free.
Well, they have annual passes.
Well, yeah. But
so don't feel bad about your whatever it was, however old Amy was. But she was 5 days old.
I'll tell you, probably the most awkward thing about being there with a baby was the princesses. So me and Phil and his family and our family, like we all got in line for something that we thought was a ride. And then at the end, it was Cinderella and then some other princess. It was on like the Disney XD channel or whatever. Like I've never.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, all right, I got to fake this. And the baby's like, dude, I don't want to go anywhere near her. And so I'm holding the baby next to Cinderella. I'm just some fat guy next to her. And Cinderella is staying in character.
She's in it.
She refuses to pray. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. And I'm like, all right, lady, come on. Just she doesn't know. And like there was a couple characters I liked. I really liked Gaston. He was a real douche.
Yeah.
But I love that.
That guy is always good.
Yeah.
They always have a good Gaston.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, he was a built guy.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, he worked out. But yeah, food, Disney. That's great. I'm glad to have you back. I know we've been freaking out. So our website went live this week to theecho.com.
That's right. Check it out. Give us a like.
We've also, we're having a new segment, and a little bit later on in the show, we're going to be bringing on a musical artist. This is something we've been wanting to do for a long time. Finally, we have the means to do it. But yeah, we got merch on our website.
I know.
Mugs, t-shirts, hats. With partnership with Zazzle.com. Yeah, man. So I've been doing that. I've been putting the word out, trying to get some groups to come on. And Nick's just been living it up, and I've been sending him commercial ideas. I'm like, what do you think about this? He's like, yeah, it's great. As he stuffs his fat face with food.
Well, listen, I did some promotions.
Yeah.
We're on iTunes now, the podcast.
Yeah.
So you can check out To The Echo Radio on the iTunes podcast, also at Spreaker.com.
Yeah.
And ran a promotion this week, so we got quite a few downloads of our last episode, so that was good.
Good.
So you can check us out all over social media.
Yeah.
But this was the original idea of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we wanted to have a band.
I mean, yeah, you and I went to school for music.
Yeah.
It would make perfect sense, wouldn't it? I got onto Twitter. I've never been a big Twitter guy. Like last year, I got onto Twitter a couple years ago back when the PlayStation VR was coming out. I was just so excited about PlayStation that I was just talking with everybody on there. And it was like I just had friends on Twitter. We'd all tweet each other, retweet. I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. And then I got PlayStation VR, got motion sickness, and had to stop playing it. So I stopped tweeting. And so
sounds just like you, by the way.
I know. And so I've been doing it on a storm. I was on vacation with my wife this week. We painted our fence. If you're fat and out of shape, I don't recommend doing that. Work out for 2 or 3 weeks before you paint your fence because my lower back and thighs are killing me. All right, but enough fat guy stuff. So I tweeted probably the only thing that went viral, and we're talking very little viral. So as you know, the Mark Zuckerberg stuff went on.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking. Well, everybody's making jokes about him being an alien, and
I saw it.
And it just came to me. You and I were just talking about Animorphs, and it might be because there's a whole section of Animorph books right next to me
right
in
here.
your studio.
I have the whole collection. They're not all right here. Some of them are packed up.
Yeah, but I see a lot of them. So I got book number 1. I just cut out Mark Zuckerberg, put him on the front, and then he morphs into a lizard.
Yeah.
And I put that on a couple things online, and it got like 4,000, 5,000 impressions.
Because he looked like that.
I know.
I've got the article pulled up right here,
Here we
and
go.
you can't see it very well, but I'm going to try to turn this around.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
I see it enough, yeah.
So, by the way, speaking of that, this is one of the articles I had for the show tonight, so I'm just going to go ahead and mention this.
Let's do it.
Did you know that he made some money during this interview with Congress?
Oh.
In fact, he made $3 billion during these hearings. During the actual time slot of the hearings, $3 billion to the stock price. Yep.
Well, those guys, the people questioning him were buffoons.
Yeah.
The least they could have done was ask their 20-year-old assistants and interns, hey, what is Facebook?
What is it?
Because they were asking very dumb questions. I'm like, you had one chance and you blew it.
This just goes to show all of these senators, most politicians, I would say, have social media accounts.
Right.
A lot of it has to do with Twitter, but also Facebook.
Yeah.
But they have people that do this.
Yeah.
They have secretaries, they have teams, social media promotions teams that handle it.
Yeah.
They don't do it. Now, Trump actually handles his Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people are upset about what he says, because he actually does it.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys, they don't do it. They don't know what it is.
They don't. And but I mean, it makes the point, you know how the old FCC or like the limiting of net neutrality and all that.
Yep.
It's like, these are the people making the decisions. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I know. It's what's so funny about it.
Oh, well, it sucks because there's nothing. Well, I guess we'll try to vote them out. But yeah. So that was about the only thing that went viral. Oh, and I made some comment on an Apple Music tweet, and somebody was asking an artist like, "What would you do if you with your first $1 billion?" And she was like, and I was like, I'd pay off my student loans with $1 billion, and then I'd buy a McDouble because that's all I'd have left. And then I got a few likes and shares with that one.
Student loans and McDoubles.
Yeah, that's about one McDouble. Dude.
There's the title. There's the title of the
episode. Very good. Yeah, it's been a good time, man. We I mean, I wish you were home all this week as I was doing this. It's really hard just doing it all by myself. But
well, I'm back.
Yeah.
We did make an upgrade, quote unquote, to the studio here. We're gonna have to do it better.
Yeah.
But we did.
Yeah, those are in the right place. That guy's supposed to be up in that corner, and the net should be up in that corner.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we
we're
put
talking
in
about
some,
the foams.
We put in some sound dampening here in the studio.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I'm going to have Ashley do some decorative stuff for me. By the way, there's also dampening behind all the pictures that are hanging.
Oh, wonderful.
So
I was going to say, I like that naked picture of me up there in the corner. I appreciate that.
yeah, well, it's art.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it art. I call it a scary movie promotion poster, but
I've got a painting of Derek laying on a bed only covered with his Hard Rock t-shirt, but he's not wearing it. It's just draped over him.
While you were gone, so my wife and I wanted to tell you this. We Friday, her and I were off. We got the babysitter, went to go get massages.
Ooh.
Yes.
How was that?
It was fine. I got a man who breathed very heavy.
Oh.
So if you were recording, you would have thought it was gay sex. But he was like, he was a little overweight.
Oh, gosh.
And he's like, so
where was this? Billy Bob's massage?
It's called Zen's.
Okay.
But as he's doing the massages, the power goes out, and the soothing music that was kind of getting rid of it for me went off.
Oh.
And then when the power came back on, the music did not come back on.
Oh,
so my wife's getting hers next to me, and he's doing it, and all you hear in the entire room.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, God, just let's get this over with. and when I got out, I got a splitting migraine, and like the worst I'd had in probably a year. And we went to Olive Garden and scarfed down some food, and I really wanted to see A Quiet Place. I was like, we're going to go. So we go to A Quiet Place. I do not recommend this movie if you have just gotten a massage. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
If you have a massage, you are worn out. And if you go to a movie that's silent for half of it, you're going to want to fall asleep the whole time. Good movie, though.
Was it? See, that's what I wanted to know. It was good?
Yeah. It had a lot of elements of like Jaws, Jurassic Park.
Because it's surprising in the box office.
Yeah.
Now, somehow, and I'm glad you brought this up. It's another thing I had pulled up here.
Good.
Though earlier estimates look like the second frame of A Quiet Place would take the weekend, Rampage snuck up and took the top slot, $30.5 million.
You know what's ironic about this is I had a lot of ill feelings towards Rampage like I did Jumanji. I'm like, this is two stupid movies back to back. But it's...
Did you see that too?
I didn't, but it is ironic that, these two movies that I'm like, no, it's going to suck, it's going to bomb, and people are like, give it to me. Rock Johnson, whatever.
I think The Rock can do no wrong.
Yeah, he really can.
He says that he likes the movie. Of course he says that.
Yeah, he says it all the time.
That was the big thing that came out this weekend was, I like this movie. Well, of course you do, The Rock. I mean, come on.
They paid you $15 million. Of course you like it.
But, I've played this game before. Video game movies just... to me, don't do well.
And Rampage wasn't really that great of a game. If you have you played it in recent
Not
years?
recently. I played it when back in the day.
Yeah, I got a Raspberry Pi with a program called RetroPie, and I have all the ROMs.
Yep.
PlayStation, Super Nintendo, all that. But I played Rampage recently, and it really is like you're just jumping on buildings and knocking crap out and eating people. I mean, it's like it was a great idea, I guess, for the 90s, but
Dave and Buster's capitalized because now they have the giant version of it in their whatever you call it, their arcade. So now you can go and it's this massive screen that's like, floor to basically the top of your head.
Wow.
And you play Rampage.
Oh, that's pretty
So they capitalized.
Jeez.
But, I mean, name a video game movie that did well.
Mortal Kombat.
Did it do that well in the box office?
I saw it
it's
3 times.
I love it.
I loved
but
it in
it's
the
a
theaters.
cult classic,
I mean,
right?
it didn't age well, but back then I thought it did well for the times, if I remember correctly.
Although Street Fighter was not good.
No, that sucked.
But, okay.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Point well taken. Mortal Kombat. Actually, that was the first
real
R-rated movie I think I saw.
It was PG-13.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Judge Dredd.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around the same time. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, because remember, like, Super Mario Brothers was terrible.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Saw that in theaters.
Trying to think of others.
There was Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider did okay, the first and second one. But,
I watched that recently because it was on TNT or something.
Yeah.
Not very good. Really not very good.
I never saw it.
Lara Croft. They're coming out with a new one.
Well, it's already out, and it did okay. But they're like, it was an kind of movie from what I hear.
That has a lot of potential, and I feel like they just dropped the ball every time they tried to do it.
Yeah, because the game came out in 2013, the reboot, and it was awesome.
The game is fantastic. Love the game.
I mean, good God. It was so much fun. Like, I was on for the ride. I've not played the newer Tomb Raider, but Rise of the Tomb Raider. But
now, there's some good movie video games.
Yeah.
But video games just like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I heard.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you see it?
I saw it. Saw it on a plane.
Oh.
It was bad.
What was, all right, that makes sense. I don't even need to hear it. Yeah, it's just, traditionally they rush it because you're trying to take, a 10, 15, 20-hour concept and squash it into 2 hours, and it's really hard to have character development and all the views and everything that goes on with it, so.
It's always a nice idea.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing we were talking about Disney. They've tried to make movies out of the rides.
Yeah.
There's only been one that was successful. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean was good. King Kong was fun as a kid, and Jaws was awesome on Universal Studios.
Well, for Universal.
Oh, okay.
But Disney did Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. Horrible.
Oh, I never did it with Eddie Murphy. I've just done Haunted Mansion.
The ride is great, of course, but they did a movie. Like a family comedy.
Yeah.
It was terrible. They also did a Tower of Terror movie, if you didn't know, early 90s. I think it was Christian Slater was in this.
Really?
Yeah, really bad. Same thing. Jungle Cruise, also Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Coming out very soon.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's any good.
We'll see.
I think he can just do no wrong.
At this point.
Yep.
I mean, someday those muscles are going to deflate, and then he's going to show us who he really is. He's like SpongeBob. He's got the little thing you blow into to blow his huge muscles up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I can't remember the name of those. Those are something arms. Anyway, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
I had an interesting thing talking about Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook signs deal. This might be something for our podcast even.
Ooh.
Facebook signs deal with Universal to give users access to licensed musics. Universal Music Group is to become the first major music company to license its recorded music and publishing catalogs for use on Facebook, Instagram, and virtual reality platform Oculus in a global multi-year agreement. Unprecedented is how it's described.
Yeah.
Under the partnership, users will be able to upload videos that contain licensed music on Facebook, including Messenger, Instagram, and Oculus. Eventually, it will expand to enable access to a vast library of music across a series of these social features.
Oh.
Very interesting, right?
It is. And Universal doesn't have all the music, so we still got to get that going.
But this could be the new age. I've been blocked on Spreaker a couple of times. I've stopped.
Yeah, because you keep listening or talking porn on there, man. It's like
I back when we were still with Kinetic Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
We played a lot of music on YouTube.
You did, and did you pay any licensing fees and stuff like that back then?
I personally know.
No. Okay.
No.
All right, well, that makes sense.
So I've stopped using all
to the Echo created
basically
music.
anything you create, we use.
That's right. Because I won't charge us for now.
You heard the intro that Derek did for us lovingly this past week.
Yeah.
But Spreaker had been blocking sometimes old videos, like from years ago. I'll get an email that says your video in 2013 has been blocked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
for a Bob Dylan song or whatever. So Spreaker is under Google.
Yeah.
They're owned. So it's very interesting to see how this goes. But basically, Facebook is going to pay the licensing. And so if you belong to Facebook, you're under an umbrella and you can do whatever you want with Facebook Live, or if you're uploading a video to your news feed or something like that, you can't be charged.
Well, that's nice. I like the sound of that. Though I'm not going to license music. I'm just going to keep, inviting these new bands on here. That's the music. No.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and that's why we wanted to do this podcast. We wanted the ability originally to have a platform for our own music.
Yep. But we've given up on ourselves.
We had this idea of basically having the To the Echoed podcast before we did a show.
Yeah, we had this dream with us here for a minute. We had a tour bus, and we're touring the world, and people knew us. They liked our music, and after shows or before shows, we would set up our microphones and invite people on the bus, and we would do our little radio show, interview people, be grateful for them to come in, and then we'd give out some free tickets, and then we'd go play our show. We'd be famous and be rock stars, and we'd have ladies waiting outside for us, but we wouldn't take them because we're married, so we'd hand them off to our roadies. And, that was the life we were going to live. But,
Streaming with you there, Derek.
And that was
storytelling with Derek Daisy.
That was the time, and we were gonna really race around the world. We had dreams, Nick, you and me. We looked around. We were excited. Had some good music.
I remember those days.
I did too. And then, unfortunately, one co-host discovered a big bag of blow, and that was the end of it. I won't say which one did it, but it wasn't me. Anyways, that's no.
But how cool would that be to be able to have this podcast where your fans can come up? And I'm surprised that bands in general haven't done this.
I think it's done on a smaller scale, but I think it would have been a pretty cool novel idea if we could just get the tour bus, and the money and the hit songs
and the fans.
Yeah.
So instead, we've decided to bring on bands who maybe don't have that platform or trying to get to that platform.
That's right.
Because the problem with the music industry today, and I think we've talked about this many different times, is that it's a machine.
Yeah.
It's the big machine, as John Resnick says.
Yes.
And you have to have the money to be able to work inside of that machine, really.
That's right.
Or at least the backing. It really is not about talent, in my opinion.
No.
I mean, listen,
you can fake talent.
I think, Taylor Swift, whatever.
Yeah.
But when was the last time you saw an artist get that big?
Yeah.
And does she really deserve it?
I think she was the only artist last year to sell 2 million records.
Yep.
Because streaming has just gobbled everything up.
And that's pretty sad because country music, that's not even the largest.
Well, she's pop.
Yeah.
She's pop now.
Yeah,
she was
pop.
Country. That when she made the turn to pop, it all changed. But
it's like Sandy Patty.
Yeah,
she's the Sandy Patty of our generation.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, it's interesting. Streaming is one of those things. I mean, it's hard to be like. It's really viral. I think people have more control over going famous now than they did maybe a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it still cost $1 million to break an artist.
That number.
Yeah,
blows my mind.
Yeah, $1 million.
And if you are an artist, and hopefully we can ask our bands as we bring them onto the show what they think about this. I think it's a good topic of discussion.
Yeah.
What does that mean to them? Because in the 90s, you didn't need that.
Yeah.
You needed a van.
That's right.
And I mean, literally, you could basically
stop speed, and you just you go out there and
went
you
out
do
there
it.
and do it. Yeah. Vinyls are making a comeback as well, and so the big question is this all going to come back full circle?
Yeah.
I saw this on The Guardian. that records come around again. Sony to open vinyl factory in Japan. Major labels Japanese arm to build new vinyl pressing plant to keep up with growing demand for reissues and new releases on retro format.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a big Goo Goo Doll fan. I bought 3 of their records on record. Like, I have Dizzy Up the Girl, A Boy Named Goo, and Boxes all on record.
There's something to be said.
Yeah, but I don't even have a record player. It's just, I think it's just cool. It's something physical, tangible, I can hold in my hand. I'm like, this is going to be awesome one day.
I'll tell you what, though, I can't say I've had too many experiences listening to an album. I've had a few.
Yeah.
One of them that I'll never forget is putting on a record of the Brown Dirt Cowboy, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy by Elton John.
Yeah.
This is a phenomenal album. Yeah. He even tried to come out with a second one, a sequel.
Yeah, well, I
and
heard
it was with Bernie Taupin, and it was horrible.
Yeah, I heard you told me all the time. You're like, this is the worst piece of garbage. What made him think he could do this?
In the words of Walt Disney, you can't top pigs with pigs. But anyway, go sit down, put on this record, and just listen to it. Okay. It's so good. And the thing is, with vinyl, it's not digital. You don't feel the music like you do when it's been recorded onto a tape or recorded onto a vinyl. I mean, it's been pressed there, and so the feel of that music is so much stronger.
Yeah. And
I wonder if new generations, as we keep going here, are going to figure out, I'm not getting anything from this music. Yep. I want more than just a single. Will it come back full circle?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. But the music world is just in a very weird place because music is now, it's not something you purchase as much, streaming. Like, dude, I stream, and somebody said to me, it's kind of streaming's like making up for all the times you downloaded music illegally years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I was on Napster back when Napster was the thing, and I didn't know. I was young, I was
in LimeWire.
I was in middle school, then LimeWire came along, I started getting viruses, and then next thing, then one thing led to another. It wasn't until iTunes came out that I started buying music, like where I could download it.
And I have to be honest, I pay for Amazon Prime, so I have their music. I like the iTunes, is it iTunes Radio, or whatever it is. You pay like $10 a month.
It's Apple Music.
Apple Music.
That's
you can download whatever albums or songs you want.
Yeah, 45 million songs.
I like that, I think, better than Amazon Prime because you can just put an album there.
Yeah.
It's not about playing an artist on shuffle or playing a station. You just find the album you want, you download it, and it's part of your library, as long as you pay for it.
Right. And, I paid $99 for a whole year. If you have family members, it's and they're part of your family share, it's $14.99 a month.
And that's one of the reasons why I have a whole collection of CDs. They're all in a box right there in that closet.
Yeah.
They're not out because I don't have a shelf to put them on.
And I don't have a CD player anymore. Like, we're getting to you do in your computer, but I don't have CD drives just hanging out anymore. It's just not my car doesn't have one. I have a newer car. Yeah, it's not supported. It's like everything is now turned to digital, 100%.
Yeah, we bought my wife a new car in December. Yep. It connects by Bluetooth to her phone.
Yep.
I got so spoiled by that. Of course, I was leasing some cars for a while. I got so spoiled with the Bluetooth hookup. I found this great thing, a Bluetooth FM transmitter with a microphone in it. Remember the old FM transmitters that were like a tape or a CD with a wire?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now they have them Bluetooth.
Oh.
You plug them into your cigarette lighter. It takes over a radio station, and it streams your phone.
Is it strong enough to hold on? Because that's the one thing I always hated is that if you drive to a certain point, it's...
I've never had a problem. In fact, I've driven now between 3 states with this. I mean, because it's North Carolina, South Carolina, and into Georgia, and I've kept it on the same station.
Okay.
In fact,
nice.
I can't say that you wouldn't have to change the station at some point, but as long as that station is not being used, I've never had an issue with the tape.
Yeah.
It would go out all the time.
Weird.
They were terrible.
Yeah.
So, but it's because I'm so spoiled. I don't want to put CDs in anymore.
Yeah.
Now I think to myself, what if I stick CDs in and they get stuck?
Yeah.
I never thought that before.
Yeah,
How stupid is
I
that?
know.
But that's what goes through my head.
You're old.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, that's a big thing too. This week I've never felt so old. Nick, asked me on the last show, can you water my plants while I'm in Disney? It's like, okay. And I did.
I didn't want them to die.
I drove over here every freaking day and watered those sons of... And they look great. I know. But then I'm painting my fence. I'm like, I just feel like we went from these hip guys in college to 50-year-old men. And
but we're not 50.
Yeah, we're 30, 31. Did you see this? Huey Lewis in the news. Huey, he canceled all his shows this week or for the rest of the year because he's lost his hearing so much he can't stay in tune.
Can't stay in tune.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
It sucks.
Wear earplugs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, or in-ear monitors or whatever it is you got to do
Yep.
to protect your ears. I mean, something similar happened to lead singer of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, a couple years ago. But, I mean, it sucks. Like, because you don't know. It kind of came about. He got a disease, and that's it. And that can sidetrack your career like that.
You don't think about it when you're young,
Yeah.
but especially like when you go to concerts and you leave and you hear the ringing.
Yeah.
I think to my band teacher in high school saying this all the time, but it's true.
Yeah.
That is permanent hearing loss.
Yeah, every single time.
You don't notice it then, but you will when you're old.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's little fibers in your ears, and they fall off, and there you go.
Stupid. Speaking of which, we got tickets to see that Goo Goo Dolls Dizzy Up the Girl front to back.
I cannot wait.
October 10th, Charlotte.
I'm so excited.
Can't wait. Yeah.
This is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
I saw him playing. John Resnick was playing a sample, like he did a Facebook promotion of this show.
Yeah.
And he was playing his acoustic guitar, singing on Facebook.
Yeah.
Singing Dizzy. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
gonna be great.
They did a cool little promo pretending that John was like a street performer and Robbie gave him money, and then John sees him Robbie playing in a bar, and he's like, "Hey man, you sound good." And then they like make it look like they're becoming artists and then they're failing. Oh, it's really funny if you didn't see it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I sent you a link. I'll send it again. But
okay, great.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, can't wait. Full circle, 20 years.
Did you take a look at what the venue was? Because it's a small venue in Charlotte.
It is very small.
This is going to be very intimate.
Everyone was 2,000 seats.
Yep.
And it's general admission, so we'll be up front or in the ground floor. But
now, Derek and I have seen the Goo Goo Dolls several times together.
Yeah.
We saw them front row at the Performing Arts Center here in Charleston.
Yeah.
Small venue as well.
Yep.
We saw them in the tennis stadium, which is larger.
Yeah.
Saw them in Charlotte.
Yep.
2 places in Charlotte.
Yeah.
The big amphitheater and also the city center amphitheater that's a little bit smaller. Yeah. So.
And I always get to meet them when I'm with you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, see you, Nick.
I mean, that's no exaggeration.
Yeah,
I think you've met them every time.
Every single time, except once in Verizon.
I don't belong to the fan club.
Yeah, well, if you paid $30, maybe that's what I did to get these tickets.
How do you do that every time?
I don't know.
It's like there's nobody else winning.
I know.
That's how these guys remember you.
Yeah, I Smith.
Like, oh yeah, we know you.
Yeah. Okay. Where's my bodyguard? I want to party with you. Please, John, love me.
You need to bring him into the studio so we can have an interview with him.
Yeah, next time they come to Charleston.
We're going to try to do that. I'm serious. Okay. We're going to do that.
Well, we're going to be famous then.
We will take the podcast to them.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you guys want to talk to our phones? We can do this.
We'll just set up and we'll be like, you know what? Just come to the house.
Yeah.
We'll have a barbecue.
That's it.
John will show up with a bodyguard. I heard there was burgers.
I love burgers.
All right, we have a artist coming on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's about that time.
Yeah.
So we have a song we're going to play for him, and then we're going to bring him into the show. His name is Christian Wray.
I hope you said it right.
I hope so.
I hope, man, if he comes in here, Christian Batman is how you pronounce it. It's all over.
We're going to learn all about him. He's from a town that's relatively close to my heart, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, I went to college about an hour and a half away from there.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time, grew up basically in the town just below there, named Ashboro. So, going to find out all about this guy. Maybe he went to UNCG. Not very sure.
Yeah, we don't really know anything about him. That's the whole point of the show. But we know we like this song. He was one of the first people to reach out to us when we put out our feelers. So we're excited.
So we're going to play his song. It's called Ashes and Embers, and his name is Christian Wray. So take a listen, and when we come back, we'll have a little chat with him. To the Echo Radio Show.
Of July with the wind in your hair, whispering prayers at the sun, wishing the clouds were just smoke in the air, not knowing the storm had begun. And how could I ever forget you now? Though it is not my place to remember, the smoke that remains is not from the flames, it rises from ashes and embers. Stillness creeps in and nuzzles its chin against your house of cold glass, and then it begins to stretch out its limbs and lay down its burden on grass. Lay down its burden all over the yard. That's what I remember. The smoke that remains is not from the flames, it rises from ashes and embers. Up from dead earth, the whimpering worm rises out of the ash. Into your youth, the cold-fingered fern touches the dreams of your past. Your eyes, they play a mournful tune as you try so hard to remember. But the smoke that remains is not from the flames, it rises from ashes and embers.
All right, and that is Christian Wray right here on To the Echo Radio Show. We have Christian here on the phone with us. Christian, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome to the show. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Doing quite well. So, we're just meeting you for the first time, literally. We've been talking to you on email and listening to your music and loving it here. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is and Christian Wray is how you pronounce it, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Perfect.
That was close. We weren't sure,
Yeah.
Derek was giving me a hard time. I said it's Ray. He said, "No, come on, it's Batman."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The W silent.
The only thing is I always got to spell my last name for people. Everyone writes R-A-Y, but...
It's because of Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
So, Christian, actually, I grew up in Asheboro, North Carolina. I see that you're from Greensboro.
Yes, that's right.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into music? What's your inspiration? How's Greensboro?
Let's start there, yeah.
Well, let's see. I've been doing music now for, I don't know what you call it, semi-professionally for like 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how professional it really is, but, I play where I can, just small gigs. I love to play cafes and stuff, places where people listen because, restaurants, they'll pay you money, but you go there and you just kind of, your background noise. So
Yeah, oh yeah.
I enjoy the cafes and all that. And, so off and on 4 or 5 years, I'd say, ever since around high school and then getting out of high school. So
Now, are you from?
now, as far as go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish.
You asked me how Greensboro was. Greensboro's, I think it's pretty good as far as the music scene. We have a lot of, like I said, those little cafes and places that really kind of care about the quality, and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a mixed bag, but I think Greensboro is actually pretty good. I'm just about to move to Winston-Salem though, so I'm not sure how they do.
Nice city.
Yeah, it's a pretty big market as well.
Yeah.
Are you from Greensboro? Did you go to school there?
Yeah, well, I'm from a place called Reedsville, a little north of here.
Yeah.
Very small town, kind of rural area.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to, Nick and I went to college in Salisbury, North Carolina, Catawba College. And, we got to do some gigs in those areas.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Just a few.
Yeah. So when you you've been playing semi-professionally 4 or 5 years. So what got you into like songwriting? Did you start instrument first and thought, you know what, I'm going to make music out of this? Or
no, in high school I really wanted to be Bob Dylan.
Nice.
I mean, like I dressed like him. I tried to talk. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. But
so cowboy hats, boots, leather jacket.
Yeah. And I mean, now, Dylan really made me want to write songs. And then I discovered Leonard Cohen. I think he kind of showed me how to write.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it was, those are the two big ones. Those are really the ones that just made me fall in love with writing, words and music together. It was so magical.
Yeah, man. We really like that because you sent the album to us. You just released this album. This Isn't Flying. You released it March 31st, just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
We listened through the tracks. The Ashes and Ambers, that was my favorite out of the bunch. And we listened through both albums, but so what did you do? Because I listened to the last album and this album. Did you record in a different place? Did you keep it similar?
Yeah. Well, this one's a big step down in terms of quality of recording. But I feel like the songs are more mature. This one I just recorded in my closet.
Nice.
Wow. These are songs I didn't
is this a walk-in closet?
Yeah.
It's a pretty large closet.
Yeah,
I wanted to make an album with a budget of basically $0.
Yeah.
I wanted to, do songs that I felt like, I wasn't going to record because I've kind of moved on from them. But if I didn't record them now, I just wouldn't get them out there. So I just thought, why not just take a month or two and just do some recording.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to get all the tracks done for this recent album?
I kind of worked like a month and then half a month with like some laziness and some procrastination involved.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say exactly how much, but
there's always a lot of that. It's just like, what? I'm gonna go watch YouTube. I'm gonna take a break from recording for a couple weeks. What kind of what setup do you have at home that you recorded on?
I have one microphone, an NT1A Rode NT1A, which is probably one of the most affordable ones you can get that sounds decent.
Yeah, man, I got that mic.
Had I just saved a little more and gotten, there's another one I can't remember the name of, made by Rode. It's a little more expensive, but it's a big jump in quality. I should have saved for that. But yeah, I have the one microphone and I have the DAW Reaper, and I have Reason, which I use for synthesizers like the drums and some of those other sounds and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was going to ask that. If you had like a drum set hanging around, you're like, all right, let's take this into the closet. No. Let's do it.
No, I have a tambourine and like a little shaker, and I use that sometimes on the album.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it, Derek?
Yeah, man. God, you just sound like you have all my stuff. Man. That's great. So do you do everything track by track, individuals like one guitar and then double guitars,
It's
double
kind of
vocals?
chaos. It's kind of just whatever I feel like doing, and somehow it gets. I don't want to say finished because I still don't feel like that album is finished.
Yeah.
Nor do I feel like even my last album was finished. You just kind of abandon it because it's like, okay, you got to move on now.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's it's just chaos. I didn't do it in kind of order.
Yeah. Well, what about so with Ashes and Ambers, what was the story behind that song?
Okay, it sounds weird, but
okay.
A few years ago,
bracing.
I'm hanging on. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, go.
Here we go.
Okay. Are there any I guess you don't have any like regulations or like censorship. Is that right?
I mean, try not to throw the F-bomb down, but
none of that. But I had been out of high school. I tried marijuana.
Okay.
For the first time. Yes. So I mean, I'm not. I just want to make sure.
Well, it's over. Our show's over, and that's it. That's all it took. Well, this is To the Echo Radio Show. Thank good night. No, you're good.
This is internet radio. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I completely, I had a complete existential crisis when I did that. I've never touched it since because I'm just terrified of it now.
Yeah.
But so it was my experience with that, I think, that sparked it.
No pun intended.
In a weird way, yeah.
Yeah.
It was that, I think, mostly.
Wow.
And some of the other stuff on the album too, but I know it sounds weird. I mean, I'm a kind of have an imagination that can get out of control. So I think when you introduce something with effects on the mind, something psychedelic, I think it goes too far.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, experiences are what make up these songs. I mean, that's what it's all about. So how you get there is really, that's what puts your own little twist on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to like writing, because I'm sure you're still writing songs, like you never really truly stop, even when you finish an album. What's kind of your hope for the next, like the future for your music? Like, are you looking to kind of stay in the acoustic realm or branch out?
I have in several dozen files on my computer pieces of sheet music, scores for an album that I really want to do. Like it was the album I thought I was going to get to maybe make this summer, but instead I decided to wait until maybe I have more of a budget.
Yeah.
It's a very, I don't want to say experimental, but it's a bit unconventional. Mm-hmm. There's not really the kind of songs where there's it's a 4-minute song and then a series of just 4-minute songs. It's more of a kind of a taking inspiration from more classical music structures. Because I am studying music composition at School of the Arts.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
And so it's kind of a combination of what I do with the songwriting, lyricism and just traditional song structures, combined with sort of the what I do with instrumental compositions and things for classical musicians to play. Not necessarily like classical music, but things scored for players and for instruments that have been around for hundreds of years. So
excellent. Very cool, man. So you're going to be working on that orchestral, like really trying to branch out beyond just kind of, I guess, more epic music, would you say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, still kind of intimate, but with more sort of sonic variety. I'm kind of tired of just hearing electric guitars and drums and stuff like that. I'd like to just explore.
Yeah. Very cool.
Well, Christian, let me ask you this. Where are you playing? Where can people see you? How can they see you on social media?
They probably can't.
All right. Well, they're going to see them on our website. We're going to make sure to get you on our blog, get our song
player. I have a Facebook, so there's that. That's always probably where I'll post things first.
Cool.
So if there's any news or anything, it'd be on my Facebook page. It's just my name.
Christian Wray.
Ray is spelled with a W.
W-R-A-Y.
And of course, there's, on there you'll find links to my Bandcamp, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're going to be sure to get your stuff up on our website. We'll be promoting you, talking about you on Twitter and all of our outlets as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we really appreciate you coming on here, man, and talking with us.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah. We learned a lot of cool stuff. Sure. And definitely keep us in mind, man. When you got some new music, shoot it our way. We'd love to show it off.
Yeah, we're here to promote you and then, get you out there to the world as we promote ourselves.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, Christian, it was fantastic to meet you. We hope you have a great Sunday evening.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Have a great night. And like we said, ladies and gentlemen, get out there and see Christian Wray, Facebook, and on our website, totheechoradio.com. Christian, see you later.
Take care. Bye.
See ya. ToTheEcho.com. Just ToTheEcho.com. Not
no
to
radio
the,
show,
yeah,
sorry.
That's right. Just ToTheEcho.com.
Yep.
We're going to have a blog posting with more information for him. We'll also have that song, Ashes and Ambers, that's going to be on our media player. Check it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as we always say, it's Sunday night.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. Woo! To the Echo Radio Show, I'm Nick O'Kelly. That's Derek Daisy. You're you. And we'll see you Wednesday night.
It's Wednesday night.
8 o'clock.
Here we go.
Have a great one.